Hi there YouTube, Extreme Trains here. So if you have been following my channel for a while, you know that I have well documented my struggles at collecting a lot of the metal engine / push along range, which is really annoying because I think they are quite good, and particularly given the quality of the end of the CGI era push along engines, these all engines go ones I think are much better in terms of accurately representing what's in the show, even if we perhaps don't like the show. So I had seen that BW, the store which apparently is the only store which has interesting Thomas merchandise in 2025, had been putting out stocks. I know Leo, for example, has found quite a few of these. None of the BWs in my area had them until yesterday, which at the time of filming will probably be about a week ago. I managed to find this new wave on the shelves, and it's this. It's Duck. This one is really exciting to me. Love Duck. Is a very classic character from my childhood of Thomas and Friends, so I was super duper excited to get him. So what are we waiting for? Let's check him out. Alright, he's finally here, Duck. Not that we would know anything about it from the back, but that's not unusual. So what are we waiting for? Let's crack Duck open. Alright, taking a look at Duck. This is an interesting Duck face, only because we don't, as far as I understand it, he hasn't appeared in the show, and there's some rumor that him and Donald or Douglas, whichever one's been made in motorized, also won't appear in the show, and they've been made as like fan service toys, which I think is really interesting, as if that's true. But you know, I think the main thing they've got is the eyebrows are the right shape, which is good. But otherwise, you know, it's an all engines go face, so it is it's gonna be what it's gonna be. I'll link to Leo's video about this Duck down in the comments below. He had a lot of thoughts about how the saddle tanks, or sorry, the side tanks, I should say, really changed the shape of Duck. I didn't quite understand what he was talking about until I saw this in the flesh. So I think sometimes on camera you don't really notice the differences, but it's when you get it in hand and you just realize just how squished up these tanks are, which are very distinctive to how Duck looks, that I think you have lost a bit of him in this AEG-ization process, which is a little bit unfortunate, but I mean, it's just great to be getting some legacy characters. You can see we've got the buffers printed here in the way that some of the other ones like Diesel are printed, where they've got the plastic underneath and just the red over the top instead of the other way around. Coming around to the side again, you do have a lot of details on these engines. You've got lots of different, you've got his two domes. I'm sure one's probably a sand dome. We've got the funnel here. We've got this little whistle here. I think this is a reused piece or reused mold from, I think, Gordon's whistle. Lots of detailing here around the cab in terms of quite a unique shape. We've got the coal, which looks a little bit more like hair in this one, but anyway. But even detailing down to, apart from the printed detailing, which is nice, these, you know, the splashes and the sandboxes and toolboxes, you know, it wouldn't be the first time those kind of details have been left off, but the fact they're on there is very, very nice. And then, as per usual, nothing on the back. We've got Duck written on the bottom, and then we do have the painted wheels, which is nice to see in a very nice yellow color, which I think matches his eyes, I presume intentionally, also matches nicely with the whistle. So yeah, this, in my view, this Duck is a winner, particularly if you like Duck, but I understand why there are some concerns about how he's been translated and perhaps that he's lost some elements of that in that process. I mean, the real question is what his character is like, particularly if he doesn't appear at all in this circumstance, but you know, it is what it is. Ultimately, it's nice to see these kind of engines in there. And I will just make a comment, after having reviewed recently the Trackmaster new motorized engines, there is something just very unique about and reassuring about having these metal engines. They do have a premium feel about them that none of the other lines have, and I think it's that weight, it's the fact you pick it up and it's cool, you can feel the metal through the paint, and it just makes this feel like quite a premium substantial toy, and particularly for the price that you pay for these, which is between, you know, $6 to $8 in Australia. You know, you do feel like you're getting quite a bit of stuff here, quite a bit of value, and so there's something to be said for these simpler toys that really have that kind of premium feel to them, and it's a different premium feeling to the wood engines, which are lighter, but they've in that wood feeling. You just feel it, and you, I don't know. It's very hard to describe, but there's something about how when you handle something that's got weight or something that has a texture, it can give a very premium feel, as opposed to something like this, which, you know, it looks nice, but it's just ultimately very plasticky, very light. And it just doesn't have that same premium feeling to it that holding something like this does. Probably no one, that's just me rambling, and apologies if I extended the video for no reason. But as always, thank you very much for watching. I look forward to hearing about your comments down below this Extreme Trains.